News for educators and students today. We have a special guest joining us to discuss today the relationship between mob mentality and cyberbullying. Welcome to our special guest, educator Jennifer Yags.
Thank you for having me, John.
Jen, mob mentality sounds like a scary concept. What does this have to do with cyberbullying and the cases that we're seeing today?
Well, mob mentality is defined as the behavioral tendency of people to act in unison with the group of which they are a part. Or, for our purposes, when a group of people commit actions because it would be harder to go against the mob. Essentially, they get caught up in what everybody else is doing and think it's okay because that's what everybody else is doing. They don't think about the possible long-term consequences, which can be quite damaging and even fatal.
Fatal?
Well, history has provided us with some powerful examples of mob mentality at its worst. Let's take a look at Nazi Germany in the 1930s and 1940s. Although everyday citizens may not have been aware of the systematic genocide run by their government and military, the thousands of soldiers of the SS were quite aware that they were systematically killing off an entire culture of people.
Yes, that example seems a little extreme, perhaps. Plus, it was over half a century ago. I'd like to think that we have advanced more as a society, haven't we?
Have we, John? Have we?
Vancouver, transformed into a war zone. Fires erupted in busy downtown intersections. Flames shot 30 feet into the air.
These riots were not in response to an oppressive government or a violation of human rights. No, these devastating riots were the result of a hockey team losing a playoff game. Citizens tore apart their own city by looting, destroying property, vandalizing buildings, and setting cars on fire. People who were being criminally charged for their involvement in the destruction stated that they just got swept up in the frenzy and were unable to stop and think about the consequences of their actions.
I can clearly see how people who are physically present got swept up into the mob mentality. Cyberbullying is commonly defined as the use of the internet and related technologies to harm or harass other people in a deliberate, repeated, and hostile manner. So, what does mob mentality have to do with cyberbullying?
Great question, John. Cyberbullying is rarely one individual attacking another. Rather, it is a group of people ruthlessly pursuing another individual through hateful messaging, online polls, creating harmful websites, distributing personal information, or posting libelous material. It is the virtual mob.
Not unlike the case of Amanda Todd.
In her case, she was attacked on social networking sites and via messaging. The individuals involved, like the Nazi SS, got caught up in following the mean-spirited actions of the mob. They simultaneously disengaged and did not recognize the fact that at the end of their abuse was a human being, just like them.
And I think what is exceptionally worrying about the Amanda Todd case is that it's not isolated. It appears that cyberbullying and its painful, tragic consequences is becoming a bit of an epidemic. So, what can we do?
Well, we can take a stand and people can think for themselves. The more there are people who are willing to do this, the less power the mob will develop, and therefore, hopefully, the less damage that will be done.
Well, Jen, thank you so much for coming in today. It's been
My
a pleasure. We'll be back after this short commercial break.